All right, what's up everybody? My name is Riley Sinclair. I'm here today to tell a bit of my story up until this point, a bit of my why as to why I've been creating all this baseball content lately. Rewind all the way back to when I was a kid. Baseball was my number one sport up until I was about 18. I played a bit of other sports, but baseball was the one that came most natural to me, that I liked the most. And it got cut short in high school. After I was done playing baseball, there was a large void in my life for a long time. Wasn't sure where I wanted to go because all I ever wanted to do was play baseball. I wanted to play in the big leagues just like every kid playing the game. When that was cut short, had a large void, a lot of questions, wasn't really sure what I was going to do with my life. And to fill that void, I basically just took on as much responsibility as I could, working multiple jobs, going to school, graduated from Kent State. While I was going to school, I was working multiple jobs. Most of them consist of physical labor. Worked at UPS for a long time, and working there took me into a toll of chronic back pain, really bad just shoulder, neck, really anything you can think of was not great. I was weak, just really worked myself into the ground because, I told myself as an athlete coming out of their sport, I ought to go work somewhere that I can use my body. So yeah, worked a lot of physical labor jobs, beat my body up pretty good, found myself in a lot of pain. So through navigating my injuries, I tried a lot of things. I went to the chiropractor, doctors, a lot of things. They told me things to do, what not to do, etc. Blah, blah, blah. I used to stretch for hours on end after long shifts at work just to get to the next day. Never really got me healthy in my body like I am today, and we'll get to why I am here today feeling good in my body. After college, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. Couldn't play baseball anymore. I knew I was done working physically demanding jobs, and I was kind of at a standstill, didn't know what I was gonna do. And somebody told me they think I would make a great personal trainer. I was actually told that by multiple people, but never really believed them. So fast forward a bit, after college, I got offered a personal training job at a local gym, and I took it because I didn't know what else I was gonna do. Didn't know if I would like it, but figured I'd try it out, and found out in little time that it was something I could definitely see myself doing long term. Found a lot of joy in, being a light in people's day and helping people physically improve. And when you do that, typically a lot of other things start to improve as well. So really just improving people's quality of life gave me a lot of joy, and I knew I had kind of found my niche. So while I was working at this gym, there was a problem that I had kind of internally that was, well, if I'm a personal trainer giving these people advice on how to feel good and get strong and all these other things, why am I still walking around in back pain? So I felt like a huge phony telling Susan how to make her back feel better when I'm walking around with a bum back. So I continued to do the personal training. I continued to enjoy what I was doing. I just didn't like that. I had this imposter syndrome about myself that, what kind of trainer are you if you're not even healthy? So this led me on a search to, how do I fix my issues, my low back, my nagging shoulder pain, all this stuff from years of labor work. And I discovered the knees over toes guy on Instagram, Ben Patrick, and wasn't, totally convinced right away of everything he was saying. But one thing that I did take from Ben was the sled is for anybody. And I began to push the sled like a madman for only about a month, just every day, a little bit, 5 to 10 minutes every day. And I felt my legs come to life, which really started to ease away at a lot of other things. So my legs got stronger, took a bit of weight off of my low back, my back started to hurt less, and I really only did, I only did one thing that this guy was talking about. So as soon as I started to feel even a glimpse of hope, glimpse of relief, I went all the way in on ATG and Ben Patrick and just started learning more and more and doing more and more for myself and kind of seeing the result happen in real time in my own body. And it was like life-changing. And that drove me to get ATG certified, start teaching the ATG principles to clients, getting a lot of results with clients as well. In the meantime, I'm continuing to do a lot of the ATG principles, and I'm getting stronger than I've ever felt and starting to feel better than I've ever felt because I'm now finding myself on the other side of pain. And that is a huge breakthrough for anybody that's ever been in pain. They know what it's like to either be in pain or find themselves on the other side. So because I was able to help myself, I felt confident enough that I could help others. So much so that I packed up and moved from Ohio to Florida just to be closer to the scene with ATG and all the guys around here that I learned so much from every day. It's incredible. So that brings me to where I am now and why I've decided to kind of circle back around to baseball. So as great as ATG is, and as great as I feel now in my new, athletic, mobile, strong body, I struggled for a long time about what do I want to apply this to? And really, you don't absolutely need to apply your training to something. You can train just to train and be healthy, and that's great. However, I feel that I've reached a point of, I've had abilities now that I never thought I would have. For example, I dunked a basketball just last month. That is something I never thought I would do. And it's just a byproduct of training the way that I train. It's not something I trained to do really at all. In hindsight, looking back at some of the things I've done endurance feats, I've done crazy running challenges and things like that. And really, the only reason I've done that is to kind of test what I've been doing in the gym. What abilities does my body have now? How much can my body really take? So as much as that's a great thing to test and go ahead and challenge yourself and do these endurance challenges, it doesn't really resonate with me so much. It's not something that I enjoyed or ever really had a passion about. And for a lot of guys in ATG, they've been passionate about basketball, or it could be anything. There's people all across the world, all different sports doing this stuff and are seeing great success, and it's amazing. A lot of guys in ATG are basketball focused because the knees, and I like playing pickup basketball. However, basketball is not my number one sport. So basically I thought, how can I showcase my new abilities, new skills for something that I'm passionate about, that I can really put my foot forward with, and that's baseball. So I think it was last month, I picked the ball up to kind of test myself and say, when I was 18, I was able to throw around 80 miles an hour. If I can pick the ball up now without picking it up for roughly 10 years and throw even remotely close to what I used to throw, that's pretty promising, because all I've done is train. I've trained hard in the gym, and I haven't really put my training forth to anything. So I was able to pick a ball up after 10 years and throw 80 miles an hour, which in hindsight, not super impressive. 80 miles an hour, guys in the MLB are throwing 105 nowadays, which is insane. But I'm confident that now that I'm getting back into the groove of throwing and training more like a baseball player, that I will eventually, in due time, be able to throw 90 miles an hour. That's my big goal with this stuff. And in the meantime, while I'm applying all of this training to myself and testing a lot of principles and different things out, I want to do the same with active baseball players today. I want to help them get out of pain, feel stronger and more mobile than they've ever been with a lot of the ATG principles, so that they can play their sport pain-free, worry-free, and play for a longer time, get to the next level. So that's my goal with this whole thing. Follow my journey along as I strive to throw 90 miles an hour and help as many of you along the way to get out of pain and play your best ball that you've ever played.